bangle, which is a nailed bangle. Nails are famous in Belper because that's where nails were being made. Okay, and I'm going to hand forge a silver nail. Okay, out of metal here, which is a piece of silver. And what most forgers do is they use an anvil, which this is an anvil. Interesting hammer because it's got a curved. Can you see that? Yeah. Just straighten it out now. Do it on here as well. You have to get it even. Keep getting it even. And then what we do is what we call anneal, which is a softening of the metal. This is what you call annealing. Colour now, it's gone to a dull red. You probably can't see it, but it's a dull red. And we can quench it or we can let it cool naturally. It doesn't make any difference to the metal, but now that metal is soft, I can now repeat the same process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this again, but this time I'm going to actually use, so we have two rounds, so we have this round and that'll move it a lot faster. Now Belper is famous for its nails. It used to be nail making, didn't it?
Yeah, I know that its nickname is the nailers.
That's right. Yes. So in the process, I've actually made another one earlier on today, which I used a set of rollers for, which is similar to that. So we've actually made a taper already. Can you see that? So it's thinner at one end and thicker at the other. Okay. Hammer down here. This is more like smoothing it out, but getting it a little bit even. Also, we need it to go around a normal wrist, which is around about 8.5 inches. This is about 7, so but I'm going to make it much more of a nail at the end, so it's a bit more pointed. Turn it over, straighten it out. I'm using the flat side of the hammer here. I'm going to do the same here. Like the blacksmith, who's across there, the blacksmith over there, and we're doing it with cold instead of hot. So what I'm going to do is anneal this again. Just going to do a little bit of work on this end here to make it a little bit more pointed, because nails have to be pointed, don't they? Otherwise they won't go into something. So we're going to make a nail. So can you see these ones? Can you see that? Have a look at that. See? You wouldn't have a look at that one. There's another one down there, isn't there? Take that off there. So I'm going to make a point on the end here. I'm going to nail the whole thing as well. And that just started to move, which was melted. It was over nearly melted, that was. Okay. Okay, and then what we're just going to do is we're going to hammer this a little bit here. We're going to make a point on it. Can you see that? You see that, Tom?
Yeah.
Use the rounded end would be a good idea. But we still want it to be safe, but not really pointy. So I'm actually doing it so it's like a point. You see, so it's a point that way. Not that way. We still want some thickness on it, otherwise it will bend. We don't want to, and we don't want it skewering to your wrist, do we? Okay. Can you see more like a point? Can you see that? So we've got more or less like a point on there now. let's just do a little bit more here. Okay, so that's a point on the end. Can you see that's now tapered? Can you see that? But what we need is this bit here making, don't we? Can you see that? We haven't got that there. I'm going to forge that. So what? No, we're going the bit here, the bit at the top, that little tiny bit there, the T-shirt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually heat this end up quite a lot, and I'm going to melt it slightly. I hope, under control, it's going to melt. You have to get the whole thing hot, otherwise it'll just take heat away. It's going to get hot in a minute, it's going to melt. I hope. Of course, hope it doesn't melt roll that way. Just realise we're going downhill. Should be going the other way around. It's melting now, it's going to melt in a minute. Can you see it melting? Lift it up a little bit. There we go. I'll do. What we're going to do is we're going to just quench that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the... In a minute, not yet. Can you see we've got a little tiny head on the top there now? And we're going to make it into this. A little head like that. So we're going to make it so it has a little tiny... So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. And I'm going to put it in the vise like this. Yeah, we'll see. Thank you. Very good. That's good. I'm going to tighten it up as tight as I can. And then I'm going to hammer with this. Right, just going to nail that now, because what's happened is, what you've done there effectively, you've actually made it so that it's actually hard. So what you have to do is anneal it again. Punch it to a dull red. And then what we're going to do is exactly the same. And eventually this will come down looking like a nail of a belper type. There's lots of different types of nails. Does anybody know any types of nails from the nails? There's a thing called a brad, I know that. Can you see we're starting to get the shape of the neck? Top, yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to anneal it again.
What's the black pan you were making it?
That was charcoal. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to hammer this down here.
Yeah.
Like that. Can you see?
Yeah.
Obviously we could do a little bit of development. How many minutes have we got left?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay. We've got enough time really to do, right, okay. So can you see that now? We're starting to get a good nail, that is. So it's going to be like a chalk, similar to that really, but for a gentleman. Just going to get a mallet. I'm just going to hammer this down. Just checking to make sure I've got it the right way around. It's going to bend less. So I've got to probably put it on the mandrel over there in a minute. Just hammer it. Right, so this is where you need to anneal it again, Richard, because you've made it hard. I'm actually running against time here. Probably on about 1 minute, yeah? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Not like an even steel. You could just hold that there. Could you just hold it while I
Which one do you want me to hold?
just hold it on this there? That's it.
Hold that for me, I'll take it.
Okay.
Have you not tried? Well, this fits quite neat. Yeah. So it's Richard's brainchild, so
Tom? Just about. Do you want me to move around?
That's right.
Have they got me in trouble?
Sorry. Well, I think we're just about there, and roughly a nail because it's not quite. There you go. So that's another 10, in a very short 8 minutes. In less than 20 minutes, I've made a bangle. Which is this. I'm probably going to sell this for about 105.
The bangle that we were making, that was 2017 or 2018. I can't remember now. No, it must have been 2018. And when I made that, and as you can see, it's got a nice, beautiful shape to it. Partly due to the fact it's got a really nice mandrel now, but also you can see that it's got slightly different. This is almost like a brad, but also this is quite the biggest one. It goes on my wrist like that. Can you see? It's probably even too big for me, but for a big boy, big version, it's probably okay. Also, I do various sizes, so we have a normal size which will fit me. It goes like that, there we go, like that, which is the normal one. And then we have, this won't go on me, a medium one like that. And a couple of different small ones, but they're all slightly different because I hand forged them. So regardless of what it is, they're all hand forged. Also, I do put actually names on them, so I put belper. Obviously, that costs a bit of money. Okay, usually about £10 extra.